Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is internationally syndicated solely due to the love and support that you all continue to give. We're available across all major distributors, and as long as you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in, because on the line with us today, we have the impressive Josh Steager. We're going to be discussing Josh's amazing children's book, Pedro the Flying Pig. It's available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a whole host of other places. Simply type it into a search bar, and you're going to be greeted with all of them. And before we go any further, I want to take this opportunity and point out the fact that Josh was brought to us by one of the best publishing firms in the business, City of Books. So for my writers out there who have gone through their process and now you need some assistance moving that masterpiece you just developed, well, look no further than Citi, people, because this is exactly what they specialize in. Head on over to cityofbooks.com and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is going to help you do just that. Listen, it is a true pleasure to have Josh here on the line. People, here during the interview today, we're going to meet Pedro, the plucky little pig who refuses to let gravity or logic hold him down. You see, because in this delightful children's book, Pedro the Flying Pig, it's where imagination knows no limits, and dreams quite literally take flight. You're going to discover how a simple what if sparked this whimsical adventure, and why Pedro's story resonates with dreamers of all ages. Okay, we're going to learn how a determined pig might just inspire kids and some grown-ups out there to chase their wildest ambitions. Buckle up, because this conversation is about to soar to unexpected heights. Man, I'm telling you, this is something that is so fun, so delightful. I know my children are gonna love it, and I know yours are as well. Filled with some amazing illustrations done by Josh, by the way, and we're gonna tackle it all. Sit back and strap in. Josh, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Josh, listen, this is a pleasure, man. We're looking forward to this discussion. I think what you've done here is something that, again, offers a great message for children, but it does it under the guise of a very creative and fun story. So we're looking forward to picking your brain. First and foremost, before we go into the book, tell us more about yourself.
Well, I guess, I'm an artist. That's kind of where everything revolves around that. But for a long time, I've been a welder as my profession. But I got into that as an artist, learning in a sculpture class. And then I just somehow became a welder.
Thank you very much for stating that, Josh. I can't see myself going anywhere else, man. Okay, so background in welding. How did we get here where now we're writing a children's book?
Well, so my dad, he was an artist, not professionally, but my family, my mom and my dad are both very artistic. And he drew a picture when my son was born for my son. And it was when you open the book, it's actually in there, but it's a series of pigs flying. And so my dad passed away when my son was only 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And so I got this idea that I wanted to, write a book and illustrate it kind of based off of that picture, as a tribute to him and my son as well.
Love that. Well, listen, without further ado, Pedro the Flying Pig. Josh, tell us a little bit more about it.
Basically he's a pig who likes to eat. Also, I should throw in there, I have a pet pig, pot-bellied pig, and so she had a little bit of added some inspiration as well. But, a pig that doesn't just sit around and eat, roll in the mud. He also, dreams of being able to fly. And, the old saying, when pigs fly, that kind of part of the inspiration. Yeah.
Well, I love that. Josh, thank you. So one of the pieces I was going to ask was Pedro based off of someone or something? And was it inspired from a real life thing? Well, now we know, okay? Josh has his own Potbelly Pig, and there it is. I'm assuming there was definitely some inspiration there with your own. I'm curious to know, is your pig named Pedro?
No, my pig is it's a girl, and her name is Ginger, but we call her Piggy, So, but some of the pictures in there, are inspired by her. So she's a potbelly pig. So like farm pigs have that curly, squiggly tail. Mm-hmm. Potbelly pigs have the long, kind of stringy tail. So in the illustrations, that's kind of why Pedro doesn't have that squiggly pigtail that you think of.
There you have it. Well, listen, I learn something new every day. I didn't realize the difference between the tails, and now I know. I'm curious, again, because this is a fun story, and we have the entertainment side of things, but we also can't shy away from the great messages that are found within it. So I'm curious to know, when you were writing it, what messages were you hoping children were going to be able to receive from this, outside of just an entertaining read?
Yeah, just the whole kind of theme is, if you have a dream, go for it. That's basically, the simplest way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
When I wrote this, I was working the night shift as a welding inspector. And on the night shift, there's not a lot to do. So I was sitting in the office a lot, and it was very boring. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to write this story. And so I sat down, and I don't know, probably wrote it within 2 hours. And the original thing wasn't about dream big, but it kind of turned into that.
Well, okay, so a great follow-up then that I want to go into is, again, lessons to be learned here. And whether this was the intent behind the initial story or not, again, we can't shy away from the fact that there are messages to be received and things that children are going to pick up, and especially, their parents that are reading it to them, educators, or the adults implementing this for them, right? Well, anyone knows, any adult out there listening in right now understands that, listen, man, on that journey of life, when you have a goal, when you have an aspiration for something, the adage is, right, shoot for the moon, but land on the stars, right? So sometimes there are setbacks. You might not necessarily reach the pinnacle destination that you're going for, but you have to understand how to kind of deal with those setbacks. So I'm curious, in your story, does Pedro address failure or setbacks within it? Like, I mean, does he struggle to fly at any moment throughout the process? And if so, how does he learn to handle that?
Well, if you're taking it literally, he's not actually flying, right? But he's dreaming about it, and he's figuring out, what ways he can do it, how to achieve it. And then when you get to the end, he's actually just being a lazy pig, dreaming about it, and he's going to get back to eating. But, as my son, he's 7 now, and he kind of pointed out to me, Pedro isn't actually flying. He's just thinking about it, And so he told me, you should make another book where Pedro actually flies, and he figures out, how he does it. So, that could be an option eventually.
Yeah.
But we'll start with this. We'll start with this for now.
I'm curious, Josh, as we start to close out of here, man, what feedback have you gotten from kids about Pedro? I mean, any surprising reactions or interpretations?
Just positive. I think, my son has been a big advocate for me. He took the book to school and read it to his class, and and I've gotten great feedback from friends of mine who have kids. I think overall everything's been pretty positive.
Well, listen, I think your son was onto something when he mentioned you should be writing some other books, because I can see Pedro going on a lot of adventures, man, and there is definitely a series on the horizon that can be taken from this. People, again, the book is called Pedro the Flying Pig by Josh Steager. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's a lot of other places. Head on over there, pick up your copies today, get lost in this magnificent journey. Not only is it so much fun for you and your children, but it's got some great messages to be found underneath that they're going to be able to grow from as well. You know where to go. Head on over there today. Josh, this has been a true pleasure, man, an absolute delight. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.